Okay, let's continue. So, one thing I just noticed when I was just fiddling between stream was that I think this terminal emulator is mostly usable now. Um, you know, in as much as like we can move the cursor around in this and edit stuff. So we're gonna do it from within the terminal emulator, I think, until we have a reason not to. So let's disable these scan lines. Hey, and the reason why the render time is so high is because this is kind of like the worst case scenario. Um, it's not the first time, but I did notice I fixed a bunch of the escape codes. So yeah, so this is kind of like the worst case for like this editor because what this does is it doesn't actually output lines. It outputs a big block of text that consists of every single cell that's visible on the screen right now, including all the empty blank cells. Um, which means that we have to parse everything all at once, and that may result in a number of like extra lines that don't need to be parsed getting parsed. So that's one issue. Now, the issue with this right now, though, is this like double line at the bottom, and that is also why the cursor goes off the screen. This is the issue I was talking about before. So let us edit the terminal. So this is like gonna happen. That's okay. I said mostly working. We're gonna work in it, and hopefully we can fix stuff. Let's go to um, handle. No, sorry. What's it called? Lit lines. So let's go up. Hopefully some of this is gonna get fixed by what I'm about to do here. Also, the text size is like too big. Um, let's actually change that first. So there's like a default font size of 45 or 48. We're gonna like lower this to 42. Let me just see what I have set in my ST. So I have, that's not the size that we're streaming with here. Keybinds. Oh, sorry, not in ST, it's in my DWM config. Term. Okay, so there's a bunch of things going on here. I want to find the term command. 36 apparently is what I'm using. We're gonna try this. I have to relaunch this for that because that is in the main. Yeah, okay, that looks a bit better. So now we'll go back into terminal.c and we've got like the whole thing on the screen. So this is something weird that we're gonna have to figure out. That's like the cursor is not going onto the screen properly. It's okay. Flashing line. Oh, okay. Interesting. So let's actually launch this through the debugger so we can figure out what's going on there. Oops. We're gonna run this. Gonna keep that open. Not this one. Bit lines. Okay. what happened there. Let's just do this. So peak, we somehow ran out of, we got too much lines or something going on here. So what happened here? Locals, length 0, split line. Go back here and see what we passed in. So here we passed in 8105. $81.05. And then somehow we got to a state where we ran out of input. Let's actually go here. Let us print locals. This raw string. Yeah, it's not going to be too helpful. We need to go to like the end of the raw. Or even better, we can drag this over. This is going to be visible, and we're going to go memory, and we're going to copy this address. I want to copy the value to, this is where like, I want to just copy the address. Sorry, what's this called? I think pointer diff key would support it. I think it's a uint pointer key is the type I actually want. Okay, yeah, that's better. Copy that value. We'll paste this here. We're gonna go to, and then we're gonna also print raw.data. So copy this. Uint pointer key raw.data plus 8105. We can get the last address. Okay, so that's F8B. So we're looking at EA 827 F8B. So we're gonna see there's like a ton of spaces everywhere. We're looking for 827 F8B. 826. So we still have a bunch to go. 827 F is like still way the heck down here. F. Looking for F8. B. So like the last character being a space though, that is fine. Like A here. A is a space. Now F8B, like is there just like an off by 1 in my counting? I would think that would have shown earlier though. What's the cursor state here? So peak doesn't take the cursor, but here, got the terminal in here, right? Yeah. Let's look at the term. Row 48, column 1. Was exactly that many unprocessed bytes, so that's fine. Um, okay, so let's just work through this here. So data minus raw.data. What was data? What was data at this point? Data was that last thing, which means we had to have advanced by some amount. Take a look at this line buff right now. This is the length of this. So if we do line to S8 of this line to buff plus line to buff to right index. Give me a 3,878 character line, which I think is like the number of cells on the screen. So if we go to like T2, we have T here. T2 size in cells, that's like 4090 something. So that's not quite all of the cells. 49 times 104 is 5096. Is that just a problem when there's like so much data? That's possible. This was not something that we were splitting long, so that's not a problem. If we've done 4096, and then there would have been 8192, but the unprocessed bytes is 8105, so that's not quite two long lines. But we would have done one long line. I wonder if the one long line is what's the problem here. Yeah, actually, let's think about that. So what's the data pointer here? It's not what it started at. This is after we've consumed. Let's add a temporary variable here, I think, right before we consume this. Just because I want to see if this was the starting, if this is what we passed in as the start. Because in that case, this would have occurred. and that might be an error. Let's just do this quickly. So we're going to go to split, what's it called? It's up here. Okay, we're going to go here and we are going to add a this, and we're just going to leave this here. So right before we consume this, this is going to tell us the data at the start of this process, this particular process. So we'll do this. I know it's unused, I don't care. Try this again. This is the wrong thing to be editing. So I wanted to edit split lines. Okay, so there we got the hit the breakpoint again. So let's go back. Split raw to this. What is temp? Temp address is this. That's not even that many before the raw. Let me see here. So data minus raw is 0. But that just means we didn't parse anything. Right? How is consume implemented here? No, set count would be exactly that would just mean we consumed everything. Exactly the amount we gave it. Data minus raw.data is equal to 0, is equal to, sorry, exactly the old length, which was 96. This is right at the end. This is after we've parsed the other, I need to check here, but I guess it's this we pass in here. That should be in the terminal. Unprocessed bytes. 8097. So this is after we've processed another 8,000 bytes. 8,001 to be precise, but there's like a bunch of spaces at the end, I assume. One A, so it's here. There's just a bunch of spaces. This is just spaces until the end. 96 is also, I think, a multiple of 16. Yeah, 96 is a multiple of 16. Yeah, this is definitely just an error. So this is definitely just a mistake in this parsing code because basically we're not accounting for if this is exactly a multiple of 16. So we consume everything and then we go out here, but we're expecting that, well, this part is fine, right? This thing is fine. But then here we're expecting that there was characters remaining. So this peak should not assert, I think. And then it should just return 0, I think. And then we would hit this else, and this would do a get ASCII on the raw. Now, does get ASCII also assert that there's more than one character? Yes. What is the rest of the state of this loop if there's no more data available? We should just skip this whole thing if there's no data available, I think. Because raw.data now is the last character. So that would actually be correct. I think we just need to skip this whole case if there's no data available. What's the line? 709. Okay, so let's just take this. Oops, too many. If raw.len, if raw len, yeah, that would make sense actually. This was passed in as a map. Okay. What a useless waste of time this C has given to us. Now I think we probably have something to go in. So yeah, so here we want to fix this weird thing that's going on here. I don't know why these are like this, but that's okay. So we want to fix this part. So this is what I was saying before about needing to have like a E32 wrap next. I don't know. We're gonna try this, but there does seem to be some bugs, so that's okay. If wrap next, take this, put it here. If t2 cursor dot column plus 1 is greater than equal to t2 cursor t2 size dot width, Let's do this. Wrap next equals. Oops, okay. So this should be fine. That is not the error. Did I implement that correctly? I think so. I need to just do this. No. Okay. Is there somewhere that something is getting reported incorrectly? Is like the size being incorrectly reported? Really, this can be equals to, but that's not the problem here. No, it was the problem. No, it's not the problem. Okay, that is weird. I'm gonna have to. The one I'm really weirded out about is like this. What is going on here? So this is supposed to be a different color. So it means that like this sent either the, or sorry, this means that we parsed the color incorrectly, possibly. There's another problem in that we can't see any like escape codes that we're getting that are wrong. Let's actually close this and open it here so that we can actually see anything. Set color. I think what this might be is that we're splitting the line and then we're not. I thought I deleted that. Why is this still here? So we go here, we set the cursor in row to 0. We go into here. Hmm. That was interesting. Let me think. So there seems to be like a weird thing going on here. So actually, the thing is it's gonna like send a ton of, yeah, it has to send like the full thing. So me checking what's going on here is not necessarily gonna help anything. What if we go down here and see what I typed there? See, for like this doesn't even matter because this sends like way too much data. Like for this, we can seriously put like 1 and it's probably still gonna work. That's only gonna give us half the term, and also it completely screws up the yeah, that's funny. That's weird. Get away with 2 lines. 2 lines to draw this. So like this is one place where it's gonna make sense to just draw only the parsed lines. That's gonna like save a lot of processing time. Let's try that. I'm gonna do this again. Close this. Leave this running. Uh, so here we know how many lines were just parsed. The only problem is like we might end up in a state where we don't want to be in, but we can try this. This should never happen. We don't want to do this anymore. That'd be a problem. And this is going to be a problem. Right, so this is when there's less lines than... This is when there's less lines than there are. So that's when we're getting like clamped here. It doesn't make sense actually. That's when there's, so we're doing 1 line. Wait, if we passed in 0, would happen here. That's when we pass in 0. Like if we set the cursor row to column to 0, this would work. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to, it's like wrap next. I think it's like correct though, but what is going on here? This is like possibly the same error I couldn't find earlier with the, yeah, that's at least something. We can get some more escape codes to parse before I go and just pound my head through the debugger more to find this, because I didn't spot it just yet. I was looking, but I didn't find it yet. Let's not do it in the terminal. I also should have that's probably fine if I just launch it and do oh, that's interesting. What happened there? Oh, what did I do? What did I do? How are we getting to this? Oh, because this is rendering the whole frame buffer every time, even if there's nothing left. Yeah, that's where like the clearing. This is where like the clearing makes sense to do every time. But we should really just make this default to space. Um, Wait, did I build that again? I did. Let's figure out what those, ooh, that was weird. We probably want to do the clearing every time because that's gonna be like a mess otherwise. But that's like a little bit annoying. That's okay though. Parse this G. G anything. What is G? What does G do? Where's my escape sequences here? CSI G. Cursor character absolute row 1 or oh, it's just straight up all it is. Okay. So we're gonna go to VTDL dot. I think it's on the same line. I think that's what that one does. Let me see here. Not seem to be listed here in the VT100 one, so I'll have to just go based on Terra term or the X11 one, which isn't specific. G. Moves cursor to the PS column of the active line. So, okay. Um, believe this just clamps it appropriately. If I if I type this correctly. So default is the start of the line, so if it's 0 and we do -1, then we would still get clamped to 0, which is appropriate. Okay, so that's one more. Let's get rid of this weird this for now because it's a little weird. So we need to do this still. And we should do that. Wait. We need to do the clear for sure. Oh no, it's just still like wrong. Wait, do we even need to do the row? Maybe this row part isn't useful. See, like this is like the cursor is getting like, at some point it gets into like a wrong state. We're like doing something wrong at some point, and then the cursor is like in an inconsistent state until the end of the line, potentially. I can actually probably find that one in the debugger. If we go here, let's go here. So we are going to do, still there, yeah. Okay, so not quite. Only problem is I don't know if like this is this going to reset the cursor at the end of the line? I'm not sure it does. I think it does. I think it sends the sequence for the style for the line. So this is interesting. And actually, we can grab this one though. So let's do, we are going to, what are we looking at here? Not the right file. $763 if L dot data 0 equals I. Yep. And L dot data 1 equals I. Okay, so we're gonna hit that one. And we're gonna say and we're just gonna step through this and see what happens here. So we're gonna do this, we're gonna get an I. I'm gonna print the I, get another I. I'm gonna print this I as well. Step the column. Then we're gonna get escape and we're gonna hop into here. Oh no, I didn't mean to jump over, that's fine. Just want to see what L was here. Okay, the first L was 39M, so let's just check what that does quickly. That color 39 is supposed to reset the foreground. That's if that is correct. Yeah, 39 sets the foreground to the default foreground. And then why does it look like we're missing stuff? Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry, I skipped over one of them. That's my bad. That's why. Yeah, so it changes it, and we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go back. We're gonna get the next character. Print the S8. We're gonna get 39. It's gonna reset it. Oh, sorry. This is after the bracket. Okay, then we're gonna get this S8. What is the cursor state right now? No attribute. If that's the case, if there's no attribute, then there shouldn't be any. I can't see it because it's not redrawn right now. But we were basically getting a inconsistent state though. So hello Tikar. Um I am stepping through a debugger to check why something weird is happening. So, okay, so 32, that's fine. What's 32 again? 32 should just be over here. It's a space. I mean, the distro doesn't particularly matter, but if you must ask, it's Gen 2. Okay. That's an escape. Right, so we're gonna skip in here. We're gonna see. So what's the escape? So it's just 33. This should just be setting the color to... Wait, what? I think I broke something. $33. That should have been printing that we don't handle 33. 38. 39. 48. 49. Oh no, sorry, it's right here. That's like an index color. That's correct. That is correct. So I'm going to skip over that because I don't need to see that. 39 resets the color. Let's just continue through this. This is the end of the line, I believe. Skip over all of that. Is this the end of the line? How much line is there? Okay, there's still... No, the line is still going. This is just broken. Okay, so we're just gonna skip over a bunch of... We're doing a bunch of space now. Then we do a 48.2M. We define a custom color. $764 if CP does not equal space. Going to continue until that. Okay, so this is going to do a custom color. And that's going to be the end of the line. So if we go to the cursor state after this, the 48 should be the background. $85, $85, $81. If we skip over this, the background of this cursor state should change to that. Yeah, so 85, 85, 81. And that's the end of that line. And the line count. Wait, that's interesting that was the first iteration. I didn't need to do that. That's okay. That was weird, to be honest. How long is this line? Another 3,000 characters. Right, it's going to print a space, and then it's going to print a... space, and it's going to reset, and it's going to print a bunch of more spaces. That's going to reset the background. Then we should continue until we get over all this space. Right, and then it's 13. So that's like the line number. So this should be getting put at column 0. Now, what is the cursor right now? Is it column 0? No. Cursor is not at column 0 right now. Wait, is wrap next set? No. That's a problem. What's the cursor terminal size? $174. And the cursor's at 71. This watch window just like not update properly? Well, it seems like it did, so it's like right now this code point, the 1, there shouldn't be, the 1 should be appearing at the start of the line. It's a line number. It is a line number, so what happened there? That is just completely wrong. Because if we go back and look at, oops, go here and we look at a window, right? So in this, there is a line number. If there wasn't 340 of these on this screen, it'd make more sense. But imagine it's like this 13. Then there's a space. Then there's a start of the thing. So we were looking at a function. So we were doing something like this, where this was what we were, so where's the 13? Okay, so this was what we were looking at. 13, actually, it was this here. 13, then a space, then some coloration escape characters for this, then a bunch more spaces. So like the terminal size right now is not correct. Is this always happening? That doesn't make sense. So window width is 38, 36. That does make sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So 38, 36. Oops. If we divide that by the width of the cell, so if we go here, we see we have cells that are 22 pixels wide. So divide that by 22, we get 174. So that's correct, actually. But for some reason, Vis thinks it's not. Vis thinks it's something else. Unless this is old data. This could be the old version before I resized the window. Let's get rid of this one. Let's continue until we hit this again. I'm guessing we're going to hit that again, but on a different line number than 0. Go back to blit lines. What was the I in this case? Here, I was 3 out of 49. Let's continue. That was stale data. How long is this line? In the wrong function. Oh, this one's only 13. Let's set a different breakpoint actually here in blit lines. So right now this is not, we're gonna break when, let's go to breakpoints here. We're gonna disable this one. We're gonna set break, terminal.c 812 when I equals let's say I equals, if I equals 40 48 maybe, or 47. Let's do 46. And then we're gonna continue until we hit that. Okay, I is 46. We're gonna re-enable this other breakpoint. Gonna continue. We hit this. And let's see, what's I? I is now 48, so we had to wait until I got to 48. That's okay. Let's go back into the right function. Let's see here. So this is the same thing though, SA pointer raw. But we're gonna wait until the end. So it's gonna skip over this till the end of the line because there wasn't that much line left here. It's gonna get to the end and we're gonna reset the cursor. We're gonna set the cursor. And then on the next line, step into here. Take our line. S8 pointer raw. So right now the cursor should be in with like a 0 attribute, which it does have. So, that's interesting. Not sure if I'm going to be able to find anything else here by just let's just lay out some of this line for now. What do I think about Void Linux? Um, I've never used Void Linux. I don't generally like package-based distros though. Okay, so let's do this again. So there was like a breakpoint at some point, which was this one. And continue. Print one space, then we're gonna do this again, and we're gonna go to 19. Let's do this one. Print that, then there's gonna be a bunch more stuff. We're gonna continue. We got a 9, so we got a 1 here again. This is 1 9 space, that bracket. And then it's gonna be 31, 39. So again, like this attribute is fine. So I don't know what the problem is. Since I don't know what the problem is, like basically I'm trying to find something like this. Like, as you can see how this line just goes to the end, the cursor's attributes just all screwed up. If I move the cursor though, it's gonna like gonna change, right? I don't know. We're gonna leave that for now. We are going to technically this isn't needed, but it's gonna like scroll until we get to this point anyways. It mostly works fine if the window is small. Okay. So what do I want to work on? Because I don't want to I don't want to do too much more of the debugger thing. I don't think it's that interesting for other people. Um, Maybe I'm wrong, but let me. We already handled this. Let me. I could do the alt screen. Like right now, if I close this, it's going to reset the terminal. Actually, that's because of how I set this up. Oh, also, I think there's something else that's wrong there. Not sure. Yeah, but I do want to figure out why this last line is like this, though. Okay, actually looking at this versus this, appears to me like there is one less cell. I think maybe I'm just setting the terminal size incorrectly. Set window size. What are we calling this one? Oops. 62. Ah, yeah, that's correct. So these sizes are off by, both of these are off by one. I wonder if I should just store the size as the actual size and not as um like an endpoint on the terminal. If I just do this and I rebuild this and I get this to redraw something. Oh, sorry, that didn't get called because that wasn't resized. That's my bad. Okay. So now we've got a completely different thing that's going on, but this is actually kind of better because this is more debuggable, to be honest. Because this would just indicate like the cursor, there's a cursor bug. Let me just see if this thing is wrong. Wait, what's this one here? I don't know what this one is because this one is weird. What are we looking at here? Terminal.c. Oh yeah, the one is the next one. Okay, so let me just check this actually. So what's the size that we just said here? Or was the size correct? So before, this was the size before, which was, that's correct. What was the font height? Not this. This one. height was 35, and then we were adding 8 pixels of padding, apparently. So, window size, where are we here? Window size 2121 divided by 43 would give you 49. So that size was actually correct. Rows, columns, height, width in cells. I should just get rid of this like T size thing and make it proper, like make it just rows and columns and be more readable. Yeah, that makes sense. Hello, Nathan. How are you? I know it's unused. Okay. Does it think there's like an extra? Let's just see here. Um, Set term size. Let's just fudge this for 1 second here. Like the width just looks wrong though. That's the problem. Is it seems like there's one too many, there's one too few cells. Like based on how ST is printing this. Oh, I see what the problem is. Okay, this character here is Unicode, which means it's not just a single byte in memory, which I'm assuming right now. So I'm replacing it with these squiggles, but because I'm not properly parsing this, it's getting replaced with 2 squiggles instead of 1 squiggle, which then causes there to be like an extra cell. So this was correct all along, but I need to parse that. So let me just see here. I'm going to take a break to go to use the washroom, maybe put some more tea on, and then we are going to parse the Unicode. I'm not going to write the whole parser myself. I'm going to use someone else's because I know the good one. But that is necessary because that is what is happening here. So it's time. All right. So I'll be right back. Let me put up a little notice here, I guess. Great. Be back. Okay, tea's brewing. Cool. So there's 2 cases for Unicode. There is the encoding case, which I have written myself, and it's not difficult, and I'm just going to copy it because I'm not going to write it again. But that case is useful if we want to just allow arbitrary characters to be arbitrary Unicode characters to be insert into the terminal, which probably we want. So that part is easy. We'll do that. And then there's the decoding case, which is a little bit more complicated because there's a lot of error cases and a lot of nonsense. Now, I have one thing that's going to work, but I also happen to know. Well, I'll look at that again and decide if I want to switch after. Let's start by just, we're going to go to my old code here, and I'm just going to copy the decode part, or the encoding part. Encoding is pretty easy. So we're going to go into util.c here. I'm going to close some of this. And just go to the bottom here. Copy it for some reason. Might just have to open it, honestly, and just grab it that way. But that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to just do that, because if I do this, it's going to be junk. Okay. For this old code, util.c, which I've written, encode. We're going to take this, yank, then I'm going to explain what's going on here. So, internally, we're treating all code points as like UTF-32, but you don't want to send that to like a terminal. Like the terminals don't shell and whatever. None of them accept that. They only accept UTF-8. So we have to convert this UTF-32 to UTF-8. Now, currently, Unicode supports up to 4-byte encodings. And so what you do is you take a look at this code point and you say, okay, if it's less than 80, 0x80, that means that it's ASCII. So it's just equal to 1, and then you can just, I don't really need to do this here, but we'll just make sure that bit's not set, and we'll just we'll just insert it into the 0th position of the buffer. And that'll just be like an ASCII, so like ASCII, right? 7F is the maximum code point for ASCII. So you do that. If it's okay, so then we failed that case. It's actually greater than this. If it's less than 0x800, it's a 2-byte encoded Unicode character. And you do this, and you have to set the first bit, like the highest bit of the lower byte, which is flipped in memory, and the C0 you have to set for the highest byte, and then you do all this blah blah blah. It's basically just like a shifting and masking. I could probably bring up like a UTF-8 encoding Wikipedia page or something. Maybe more easy to explain based on that rather than me explaining it. Yeah, this chart. And my T's done, so we'll go grab it and then I'll explain the chart. Bring this over here. Wish this table would not do that. Okay. I'm just gonna grab my T. Okay, so UTF-8. It's a bit easier to tell if this was UTF-30, if these were 32-bit. If this was UTF-32 code point. But anyways, point being is if this is actually really hard to read, to be honest. Is there like a UTF-32 on this page somewhere? No. That's annoying. Just look here. UTF-32 to UTF-8. Well, that's fine. Maybe this. No. This one. Don't care about byte order markers. That's for decoding UTF-16. We're not on Windows, we don't care about that. Okay, whatever. Don't care about that. We'll just explain it based on this table. So that's what I thought, but like this I think it's just this table's like a little confusing here. This should be like, you know, NN or something instead of 0, because 0 is like an actual number. But anyways, so if there's stuff in these 2 bits, the UTF-8 encoding has to look like this, so it has to be like a 7F, where these 3 bits can be whatever, and these last 4 bits can be whatever. But the first, like the highest bit, like bit 8 or bit 7, if you want to count from 0, has to be 0. So if we look at my code here, that's what we do. We just we're saying, okay, we're less than, if this bit was just set, it would be 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0, which is 0x80. If we're less than that, we're going to mask the code point by 7FFF, which is just 0x80 minus 1. And we're just going to shove that into the output buffer. Then we do the next check. So now this can be, we can be greater than this, like this lowest bit can be greater than this, but we still have to be less than, like this 7FFF. This 7FFF is right if you do 800. So 0800, which is where this comes from. If you add 1 to this, so then you do the same thing again. But then to get the highest byte, because this is going to be flipped in little endian, to get the highest byte, which is this going to be buffer 1, you do the same mask again with 0x80, because you want to set these 2 bits, and then you mask with 3F. So 3F would be 1 1 1 1 1 1. You do that, and then for the lower byte, you do you shift this over by 6 to get rid of the these 6 bits, and then you do and with 1 FFF, so 4 Fs and a 1. Or sorry, so 4 1s, and then for the F, and then another 1, and then you OR it with C0. So that's this part. This will give you C0. So this is 1, 1, 1, and then 0 because it needs to be a full thing. So 1, 1, 0, 0 is C in hex. And then you just go through and you do that for all of these, so on and so forth, until you have an encoded 4-byte long UTF-8 string. So that's what we're doing here. This is like the simplest code you could write. There's more complex things you could write, but this is probably good enough. So we're gonna want to call this in a few places. Actually, I don't think we need to call it here. I think we just need to go into the here, and we do like child put care here. We need to encode to UTF-8. So yeah, we're gonna get rid of all this. Don't need any of this. We're gonna do UTF-8 encode. It's ugly. Sure. UTF-8 encode code point. And then that's going to return out like this S8, the static S8 buffer that I don't really care about. We're not going to modify that or free it or any of that. And that's going to just go to child put S8 and it's going to write it. That is good. Shouldn't be any issues compiling that. So there's warnings that I can fix in a second. So that's the first part. Now the second part is the more complicated part, which is decoding the UTF-8. So we're going to refer to someone else's code. I didn't mean to do that. Just yank it. So I'll post this link in the chat. And we'll open it up and have a quick look as well. His web page is suffering from horrible free CSS, I guess, HTML. But he has CSS for some reason because there's left margin, so I don't know. So basically he has this thing that's basically yeah, I don't care about that. This is like this complicated state machine kind of dealio where you can basically like loop through this. So you start with you have like a pre-initialized state which you use to keep track each time you call this decode function, and then you have your output code point and you have a byte to encode. So you go into this table here and you use this byte as an index in this table. And this table, you're going to access it. You're going to get a bit, a specific byte out. And then that byte is going to tell you what you need to do to basically extract the where's the type going here? That's going to tell you how much you need to shift this by so that you can extract what am I saying? So you can extract like the actual 32, the bits from the 32 so what's it called? But you can extract the bits, the encoded bits. So you have the UTF-8 string, and you're going to extract the bits that correspond to the UTF-32 code point. And then you're going to shove that into this output code point. So I'm not going to like go over this because it's like kind of complicated, but it works, and it works like really well. I know like I think like Chris Wellens has like a blog post on doing like UTF-8 with SIMD, decoding with SIMD, and he wasn't able to get anything faster than this. So it was like as performant as this. So might as well just use this thing and not worry about doing it with SIMD. Because the issue with doing it with SIMD is you need to make sure you're always looking at 4 bytes or you have to mask it. But this doesn't really care. This just takes a byte, tells you if you need more bytes or not. Yeah, so we're going to use that. I think he like must have modified that link at some point because this was what the table used to be, if I'm not mistaken. Like, is that table actually smaller than what it used to be? Oops. Very well might be. See, like the end of this table, it's all like 1s and 3s, but here it's like all these 12s. So it's like been adjusted recently. State times 16. Interesting. So there's been like some modification here. Weird. I can close this. I'll look at that later. I don't think it matters right now. Let me open. Need to have those defined. Define UTF-8 except 0 UTF-8 reject 1. Then I'm going to just quickly refer to my code where I was calling this before. So okay, so let's go to the terminal.c. We had get ASCII. We're going to have a new one. Get UTF-8. And this is going to take a raw again. Here we're going to have a state equal to 0. And we're going to have a code point to output. And we're going to have this offset. While the offset is less than r till n, raw till n, sorry. If UTF-8 decode, pass in our state, our code point, r to data, raw to data offset, plus plus, So if we can only decode like a partial code point, we don't want to modify this string because we can request more data. So if that is successful, we're going to do yeah, we're going to consume that. That's correct. And then we're going to return the code point. If not, we're going to return. There's like a problem here where, I mean, UTF-8, U32 max is not a valid code point, so we could just use that. Like returning 0 doesn't seem very smart, so then we're gonna say, whenever we use get ASCII. So these ones are all like ASCII, but it's fine. That's fine. It's here. If L2 has, what did I call this? Has Unicode. So let's go up here. Else okay. Let me think here. Technically we should do let me think here. I meant in line. Okay, so that one went down to 1 now, which is correct, and then there's a space. So now I think this wrap next thing probably is correct. Though I could be wrong. But am I still, I'm probably still setting the window 1 too small. No. So let's just resize this. Yeah, there we go. So now we've got something here that's looking a little better. Is this actually usable now? Nope, there's still some glitch. But the glitch isn't as bad now. but we are still able to do that. So let's see what that is. We have to run a new one here. Breakpoint, breakpoint. Wait, where's this? Parse CSI. How did we get into this with the 0? That was in here. How did we get into here with the 0? So raw started out as having oh. So that's when that's annoying. That's when we have an escape on a line boundary. That's another case where we should be doing a requests more data. We can put that in the check here. Let's not put that here. Let's put that here. I think this is gotta be correct. Okay, so we're not hitting that crash anymore. That's good. I'd like to figure out why, see like this over here, like some of the state is just like completely wrong. This is actually an interesting case here. Everything is ending up off by 1 here. Can I actually find that case when we're like in this small window? We might not be able to. Also, let me just check here. How much have we changed? Probably we should commit some of this. I don't know how we hit that. I do believe this thing is correct. Now, let me think here. So we need to figure out okay, this is actually offering some good insight here. Let's see what's going on here. So this is column 58 plus 4, so 62 in the actual terminal. Wait, it's like, why is this even getting printed though? It's like for all the other lines, it doesn't get printed. Even in here, when the terminal's not wide enough, it doesn't get printed, right? Still seems to me like the oh, because it wants to print the new line on the next line, right? Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Try opening a different file. I just like to see if I can find a bug case. Hello, adjective Allison. I am working on this terminal emulator. Trying to find, there's like a case when the window's bigger that needs to be fixed. That case also needs to be fixed. Because actually, maybe we can get that crash to occur and I can see what happened there. I need the window to be like a little smaller. I mean, obviously this needs to be fixed, but I want to see like the crash first. It was somewhere down here. Well, there's like the weird case, but I saw the weird case for a second. Yeah, that's what I wanted to see. So this line only had half of a. This line only had half of a UTF of a Unicode. What's L pointing to right now? Yeah, the length is just like completely screwed up. Hi Reggie, 1660. Doing well, how about you? Let us use this to get the, what's it called? Line to S8 line. The line was 4,114 characters long. That seems wrong because we're supposed to be splitting lines on 4096. If len is greater than 4096, that's supposed to get split if we're greater than that. Why did that not get split? Why would that not get split? That is very strange. So 4096, that should just be getting split up. Is there a case here where this could get, shouldn't be a case, right? So while this is greater than 16, decrease the count, do this. Move that. We don't set a line up in here. If there's length remaining, we can start touching lines. Otherwise, we can do this. So this data would have had to be consumed. So this data pointer started out at the same data, and then if we just increase it up to 4096 is the max, it can just be increased. Oh, I guess, let me think. Wait, this is wrong then. So, what was the line length? 4114 minus 16. No, that still doesn't make sense because that's 4098. How can that even happen? Like, is it just because this needs to be, um, I don't think that doesn't make any sense. Let's do that. Make sure it's long. And then let us try this again and see if we can get to that. And see if the line is screwed up like that again. Many bugs. Many bugs. Not triggering that again. That's annoying. I would love if this would crash because then I can actually look into why it's broken. But it doesn't want to crash, so that means we need to figure it out otherwise. Let's do the same thing in here. We're gonna try to get some glitch on the screen. It would be a very big problem if it only happens when the terminal's like giant. That's like annoying. Oh no. Please, you can crash. You can do it. You can do it. Doesn't want to crash. Send this one over. As soon as the screen gets small, it doesn't give me any bugs. It's annoying. Let me switch to this one. Okay, so this view should have the bugs. So let's see what we can do here about this. I'm gonna go to the washroom first. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is what was I thinking? I forgot. So what's this? Now this shouldn't be needed. Um I definitely had something in my brain that I completely forgot what it was. Oh yeah, okay, let me see. So okay, so here let us do this instead. So that will eliminate one possible issue, which is that the state is like saved incorrectly. I don't think that was what the problem was. Ah, there we go. So this is one of these weird bugs. How long have I been working on this? I kind of like work on it on weekends and in the evenings. So like, in terms of hours, I don't know, like maybe let me just let me look here. Like maybe close to 24 hours, 30 hours, something like that. There's been like a lot of time that I've just been like I was exploring like new, trying to do like totally like new things I've never tried before. So there was some amount of time, to spend like trying to get those things working. Um, Otherwise, this wouldn't have taken getting to this point wouldn't have taken that long, I guess. But anyways, I also just kind of knew how the terminal was working beforehand, so that helps. Um, 468. So let me see here. We do actually, this is open in the debugger, so I can actually do something. Uh, yeah, I can do something here. So we can go to the debugger and we can go, um, let's see here. No, no. I wish the debugger wasn't so, I wish the debugger was better, to be honest. If the debugger crashes, that's a problem. Let's go back here. Let's go to this. I want to get one of these glitchy lines here. Okay, this one works. So let's go to the debugger 242. So when open this file, this one, when we are at line, where are we here? Way down here. So if we're gonna break terminal 768, I'm sorry, 87, 787, if code point equals 4 and key to cursor dot state and adder inverse We'll see if we can hit that one. We're going to do continue. So we hit it. Is there another 4 where that would be happening? Oh, it's not redrawing, so I can't see that right now. That's fine. Are we in the right stack? I feel like no. Okay, well, anyways. So again, this line is like way too long for some reason. It shouldn't be over 4096 like this. That indicates some logic error. But anyways. What I want to see here is, so we got a code point. The code point is number 4. The terminal to cursor is at 0, 0. Wait, this isn't the right breakpoint. This is not 4. How did we get here? What? Is the cursor attribute even? No, it's 0. How did we even hit this breakpoint? Why does this debugger suck? Why does GDB suck? I don't get it. How cursor attribute is not set, and this is a escape. Why? Why GDB? Why do you suck so much? Why can we not have a good debugger? Okay, so CP is actually equal to 4 now. That's good. But row 6, column 1 is not where we want to be, so we're going to do another continue. Now we're at row 16, column 1, not where we want to be. Not this one either. Attribute is still 0. Now come back, the cursor, we're on a different iteration through the loop. The cursor is now 0. We're going to shove a 4. This would mean the... Oh, right, this could be stale data again. No, it wouldn't. No, we're on a different iteration. That's weird. No, this doesn't make sense. Never seen like the attribute go to what it's supposed to be. So it's possibly F. This one is also possible. This one would be white. Like the gray. So this column is 2 and the 4. Now that's fine, to be honest. This would be the line that we're currently on. We're supposed to be currently on. Just step through this. We're going to consume a bunch of spaces. This would be fine, to be honest. So how many cells do we have? We have 71 wide. We're only on 39, so let's go up to 71 and see what we get. So 70, we are on wrap next now. We're going to skip this one. When it comes through here, we're going to get a space. We're going to print it. We're going to get a second space. We're going to print it. And that's after wrapping the column, so no problem here. This is like fine. So I don't know. Let's just get rid of this for now. Space 003. Oh, I shouldn't have broke. That's actually this one or this one. No, it has to be this one. 2 spaces and the 3. Should have continued. This is challenging because I can't like if I stall it, I can't really. I think I can actually. It's I just don't want this to. It's still there. So let's do this thing again where we said here's a better one. So I want to do it before though. That's the problem. I want to break before we just hit this one. Because I need to see like this whole line. I want to see what's happening. So let me see. How can we do this one? We can break at um if space 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 one space space one. That's fine. So we can do break terminal.c 787 if cp equals space and l dot data 0 equals space and l dot data 1 equals just a 1. Yeah, that looks right. Oops, typed the wrong number. 787. Okay, so we've hit that. This is like hard to read, but that's okay. So right now we're at a row 0. Oh, hello. Oh, right, because the last line could be... Row shouldn't be 0, though. How is the row 0? That's weird. So the row... Why would the row be 0? I mean, this state, though, makes sense. And the terminal size is 71. Now, I don't know where we are in this whole deal. Input lines, what is going on here? This is probably old data, so we should probably continue for now. Um, Here's one that might be correct. No. So this has a brace right after a space one. That's not correct. And this is like still stale data. Yeah. We're gonna set another breakpoint. We're gonna say break in terminal.c line 832 if I is equal to 47. Okay, I is equal to 47. We're gonna undisable this, as some would call enable that. Okay, so then we're gonna go in here and we're gonna take a look here. So it says 019 and then cursor. So that's this line up here. It's being displayed right now. So we can continue to the next one, 018 and then the switch after a bunch of weird stuff going on. 1M, 22, 23, 24, 25 all sent separately. Why would that happen? And the line length is big. I shouldn't have done that. I think I can do a render to frame buffer. Does render to frame buffer take? What's the thing called? Oh, no, I don't have the push buffer because it's not in. Dang, I don't think I can do that unless I go back and figure out what this pointer is. Did not mean to do that. I didn't want to do that because I want to see where we are. Um, because the yeah, we need to do this first. I think you don't have to do this, but Dang, I don't know what the number is for that. Okay, that's fine. This is probably like in a completely incorrect state now, but that's okay. Oh, it's not. No, it wouldn't be. It'd be fine. It's just I need that frame buffer to be bound. Oh, you know what? I didn't need to do that. Oh, but I'm not gonna have that either. Ah, I mean, these are all gonna be set still. So I don't need to really be setting these over and over again. Okay, and then I just need to do this. What is GL triangle strip? Um, DLFW swap buffers. I believe it just takes the window. Oh yeah, sorry, it did do what I was supposed. It did do what it was supposed to. Okay, sorry. So we can see the thing again. That's good because I need to see this. Um, Now, okay, so where was I at? Yeah, so this data is like really weird. We go up here to set color. We set it to bold, then we go to 22, we clear bold and faint. That's like it's probably a bug in this or in I'm not using cursors right now, so it's definitely like a bug in this. Then we clear bold, then we do 23, which is clear italic. Then we do go to memory. I can't see it. So we do 22, 23, 24, which is clear. What's it called? underlined. 25, which is clear blink. 27, which is clear inverse. And this all has a bunch of spaces interleaved in it for some reason. I need to fix that in Vis. Like, what is even going? What is Vis even doing? And then we do the switch, and we do the same thing all over again. And then we set a color for the bracket. That is just some weird thing that's going on for Vis there. But let's continue. So we'll hit the next breakpoint. Why didn't we go back down to the breakpoint? Okay. Then it's going to do 17, which is the case 0. You can't really read it, but that's fine. It's in there somewhere, the case 0. $16, $15, $14. Yeah, FB clear region. After 25 spaces, that looks fine. 13, 12, 11, 10. Be another FB clear region. It's correct. And then this next one should be the line I care about. Yeah. So the line I care about here, we need to see what's going on. So we need to look at the cursor in the row. Yeah, so the wrap next must be set. I'm gonna assume, yeah, wrap next. We're gonna wrap to line 20 to row 25, which I assume is correct. So let's do that. So we're gonna go to 25. We're gonna reset the column, the cursor. Then we're gonna print that step. We're gonna do the next one, which again is just gonna be the space. We're gonna get another space, I believe. Sorry, no, we're getting the one now. Sorry. Gonna get the one, and we're putting that into column 2, 0, 1, 2. That's correct. Then we're gonna have a bunch of spaces. So I'm gonna say break 787 if CP does not equal space. And we're going to continue until then. Now the code point is we are now at column 12, which is appropriate. And the next thing should be a bunch of escape. Why is there a bunch of escape here? Anyways, 1's going to reset the color. Then 22 is going to change the, do some more. This is just nonsense, this. Sending like 10 times the amount of data it needs to because it just sends the same escapes that just being the same thing. Like it could have just done clear cursor. I think that's what 1 does. Or 1 sets bold. It sets the bold and then immediately clears the bold. I don't know. That's some junk in this. Bad code. So we are going to step into this. We're going to skip over that. Step into this. We're going to see that we're going to, like, it could have just sent 0 cursor reset. That's what it wanted to send. Instead, it sent like 20 extra things. what's that called? Don't want to. Need to be careful what I'm doing here. Cell adder. I feel like some inconsistent naming here I should fix, but that's okay. Naming convention. Not mode. Adder. T to cursor to state dot adder. Okay. Yeah, no. Don't even ask me why it does that. That is some nonsense. Okay, we're gonna skip over the rest of those, I think, 'cause I don't really care about it resetting and setting the cursor over and over again. Skip over that. Skip, 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 skip. Okay, so we're gonna do the default. I don't care about this either. I'm gonna skip over the default. Why is Vis's like thing just so screwed up? Like it's sending just like why did it send this twice in a row? Eventually we're gonna get to the colon. Then we're gonna print the colon. We're at column 19. We'll go through this assert. Let's go to line length here. And chew through the assert, and then we're going to some more garbage with setting and unsetting the thing. This one's like actually correct, but the other ones were not. We have some spaces, sorry. So we have, let's just finish this one. We're on 32. There is 39 spaces remaining. The terminal size is 71. So 32 plus 39 should give you 71. So somehow in here, let's just hide that. Let's just go through until we get to the end of this. Chew through a bunch of spaces. Oop. So we're still a couple spaces left here. Got a space. Another space. So there's one more space, and we're at 70. Yeah, this is correct. We're gonna put the last space in, and we're gonna set wrap next. That's the problem. Wrap next needs to the wrap next state needs to get saved between runs. So see how there's only 14. There's only 14. There's only 14 characters left in this line, which is obviously like whatever the garbage is here, like all these escapes, that's going to eat up all those 14 characters. Then we're going to exit. Then the cursor is still just going to be sitting here. So I think what I can do actually is we can say at the end here, if wrap next, we're just going to step the column. And that will actually fix the bug. But just while I have this nice and set up, we'll just make sure that my suspicion here is confirmed. So, okay, so we're going to do this. So now wrap next is just set to 1. We have 13 things left, so let's just jump through here. There's 10, 5, 0 left. And we haven't moved the cursor yet. So now if we go next, we're going to exit this function. Wrap next is going to get reset to 0. We're going to lose that information. And then we're going to try to print this 2. Let's do this. Do this, step in. We're going to get a line. We have to skip over a bunch of junk until we get to the 2. So the 2 is here, 242. But anyways, this is all just escape codes up until this M. So then we're just going to print the 2 at the old space, and everything's going to be wrong. So that's good. Found that. I think that is good. So let us go to blit lines, and we're going to go up here. At the end of this loop, if wrap next, we need to print a thing. Okay, and then if we go back here and we get rid of the breakpoints, I could have left that one. Let's just disable. It doesn't matter. And we hit continue. Hey, so that's slightly better. It's one bug down. So now there's another part of this bug that's causing this part. Also, it looks like, yeah, the cursor can go back off the screen again. Still, I know what I broke here. If wrap next, and okay, there we go. So now the cursor can't step off. This is still bugged, but we're not going to have that weird thing going on anymore. Progress. what time is it? 5:20. That's been 3 hours, so it's actually probably a good place to pause. So we're gonna do the dumb thing again. We're gonna edit this. This one isn't too many lines, so it just looks correct. So when I do this, we're gonna start getting um, the fake scan lines. Oops. And that is what we're gonna call it today. Let's see what to do here. So, thanks everyone for watching. That will be all for me today. Actually, I'm lying. I might come back later and finish Upgrade. I might do a late night game and stream. So, happy to have you return for that if you want to. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the next one. So, bye for now.